Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a massive global shift happening right now, the push toward digital sovereignty. But more importantly, we're going to break down how you can bring that exact same freedom straight to your own terminal using an incredible tool called OpenCode. We're going to look at why this macro shift is happening, what OpenCode is actually built to do, and then we'll walk through exactly how you can get it running on your local machine today. We've got a tight roadmap lined up for you. We'll start by looking at this big open source shift, break down exactly what OpenCode is, explore the AI models running under the hood, and then we're going to get hands-on and show you how to install it on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Let's get right into it. So let's start with the big picture. Governments taking back control. Entire nations are suddenly waking up to a really severe problem, vendor lock-in. Particularly when it comes to proprietary AI tools and their digital infrastructure, governments are realizing that relying completely on closed ecosystems just isn't viable for public administration anymore. You can actually see this trend in action with the Trilateral Declaration of Intent for Digital Sovereignty. France, Germany, and the Netherlands officially teamed up and signed this declaration to build and share open-source large language models and collaborative digital tools. The main goal here? To make digital sovereignty an open, strategic priority, ensuring these nations keep the keys to their own technological future rather than handing them over to a single, private vendor. Which brings us to an incredibly powerful driving principle: public money, public code. Basically, if taxpayers are footing the bill for the software, the public should own the code, right? Well, Germany recently put this into practice by releasing their award-winning AI tool called Spark. Spark was built specifically to accelerate planning approvals, and it proved it could completely slash a massive backlog of 240,000 building permits. After winning an international award for best AI use in government services, they didn't just lock it away. They published the entire codebase on OpenCode.de under a free Apache 2.0 license. This is what true digital sovereignty looks like: production-tested tools given right back to the community. All right, so that's the macro level, but what about the micro level? What about your daily developer workflow? That is exactly where OpenCode comes in, because this push for open, sovereign tooling isn't just for massive government projects. It is hitting the individual developer space hard, bringing total sovereignty directly to your terminal. The contrast here is honestly pretty staggering. Typical closed AI tools, they tend to trap you. You're looking at vendor lock-in, incredibly high mandatory subscription fees, and this cloud-based code telemetry where your data is silently being beamed off-site. OpenCode completely flips the script. Instead of being stuck in those expensive ecosystems, it's a totally free MIT-licensed coding agent that operates on a bring-your-own-key model, acting as a privacy-first terminal agent that gives you full control back over your local machine. So, what does it actually do in practice? Think of it like a senior developer pulling up a chair right next to you. It uses this beautifully slick terminal-native workflow where it can read your repository, edit files, and run commands. You can even run parallel agent sessions on the exact same project. It is 100% privacy-first, meaning absolutely no code or context data is ever stored on external servers. It cleverly drops an agents.md file in your project so it really understands your specific context, and it integrates flawlessly with your favorite IDEs like VS Code, Cursor, and Zed. You get all that raw power of an AI coding agent without ever worrying about your codebase being silently exfiltrated. Okay, moving on to the models and AI providers, because here is where you really see the power of choice. What's absolutely fascinating about OpenCode is that it ships completely blank. There's no default model. You bring the brain. It actually connects to over 75 different LLM providers through the models.dev catalog. Over 75. That level of flexibility is just insane. It means you can use your existing API keys for Anthropic, OpenAI, Google Vertex, or Amazon Bedrock. You can route through local models using Alala, or even connect your existing GitHub Copilot or ChatGPT Plus subscriptions. You are quite literally never locked into one provider's ecosystem. Now, if you're the type who prefers to host locally, recent dev community benchmarks are super revealing for agentic coding. For a standard 16GB VRAM setup, the quantized Qwen 3.5 27B model is the absolute daily driver. It passed unit tests with a tiny 5% error rate and a blazing fast build time of 1 minute and 12 seconds. Big Bakal was noted as an excellent researcher. It actually paused to search the web for API specs, which is super cool. But surprisingly, the larger Qwen 35B model struggled heavily with structured logic, hallucinating data with a massive 63% error rate. And Devstral Small, it got totally confused by basic file operations. This just goes to show that for OpenCode, instruction following is way more critical than raw model size. And look, it's really important to note that model performance can be incredibly finicky with these agentic tasks. Take the GPT-OS S20B model, for example. In its default mode, it totally bombed, hitting dead-end web search calls and stalling out entirely. But if you just flip it into high thinking mode, it completely recovers, parses flags correctly, and writes passing unit tests. Knowing quirky little details like this is going to save you massive headaches when you're configuring your own local setup. But hey, what if you don't want to mess around managing raw API keys or tweaking local settings all day? I get it. That's where OpenCode Go comes in. It's a highly affordable monthly tier. We're talking just $5 for your first month and then $10 a month after that. It gives you pre-configured, ultra-reliable access to top-tier models from global AI labs like DeepSeek V4 Pro, GLM 5.2, and Qwen 3.7 Max. It's completely optional, of course, but it's a fantastic low-friction way to tap into powerful models without the setup hassle, especially if you need really stable global access.
All right, let's pick up the pace a bit and get into the nitty-gritty of setting up your environment, starting with our Windows users.
Before you even think about touching a package manager, Windows users, listen up. Running OpenCode through the Windows Subsystem for Linux, or WSL, is highly, highly recommended. Native Windows support does exist, sure, but WSL matches the Unix-style environment the agent natively expects to see. That means you are going to get much better performance and way less friction. Once you've got that environment prepped, the installation itself is a total breeze. First things first, just make sure you have Node.js 18 or higher or Go 1.22 installed. Then, fire up your favorite package manager. You can use Chocolatey by just running choco install OpenCode, or Scoop with scoop install OpenCode. Once that command finishes, literally just type OpenCode into your terminal. It'll launch the interface, you authenticate your provider, and boom, you're ready to build. Okay, what about the Apple users out there? Well, your pathway to digital sovereignty is incredibly fast, like set up in seconds fast. Honestly, the absolute quickest route on a Mac is to just open your terminal and paste in the official install script using curl. It handles everything for you. Or if you're the type who loves using package managers to keep your system perfectly tidy, a quick brew install anomalyco/tap/opencode does the trick natively through Homebrew. Oh, and if you're someone who actually prefers having a graphical interface running alongside your terminal, you are in luck. You can easily grab their beta macOS desktop app directly from their download page. They've got dedicated DMG files for both Apple Silicon and Intel Macs, so you're getting native, optimized performance no matter what hardware you're rocking. And finally, for the Linux engineers tuning in, let's be real, OpenCode feels right at home here. It was practically designed from the ground up for this environment. You've got plenty of great options here. You can stick with a standard bash install script using curl, exactly like we saw in macOS. If you're running Arch, you can grab it from the Arch user repository using an AUR helper like Paru. And of course, standard .deb or .rpm packages are ready to go too. Once it's installed, simply verify your binary by checking the version, authenticate your provider by running OpenCode auth login, and you can start hacking immediately. So as we watch entire governments taking back their digital infrastructure and everyday developers reclaiming their own code through tools like OpenCode, I want to leave you with this one final provocative thought to chew on as you fire up your very first terminal agent session. Are open source, highly flexible terminal agents going to completely replace those massive, closed, proprietary developer ecosystems entirely? We'd love to know what you think. The power of choice is officially back in your hands. Thanks so much for joining this explainer, and happy coding.